Fiali Kalitanali, what's up? My name is War Of Icaza, War Britain. I come from the East Bay, Oakland, California. My mom's from Jinotepe, Nicaragua, and my dad's European American. The nation I'm from in Nicaragua is the Nicaragua Nation, Niquirano. We're Nahua people who have been migrating from Mexico the past 900 years. The main language of my mom's family is Nahuatl, and then on my grandpa's side, it's a mix of different Mayan tribes. And then my dad's side is white.
Blood in, blood out, Nico y Chicano. Rep your país and watch out for gusano. No somos latinos o somos nativo. You know we be lethal, indigenous people. My girl CK like way to be my.
And then in terms of the genre of music I make, I've always liked all types of music, specifically punk, rock, and hip-hop. And I always thought, God, that'd be so cool if there was an artist that could do both, or I would have to start two different bands, a hip-hop project and a punk project, and I was like, fuck it, like, I want to do both.
This song is for Comanche, mother.
So I started doing both, and I really like the idea of with the punk music, the mosh pits and the circles going, because in a lot of our dance ceremonies it's that same element of holding the circle and getting all that energy, and it's so dope seeing a lot of indigenous youth, especially Mexican, Central American, be in a mosh pit. You see their long hair, you see the brown skin, and it just takes me back in time to when we would have our gatherings back in the day and throw down. I feel this, I'm not sure why, like I get it, I'm from Nicaragua, but I didn't know too much about my tribes or anything like that. So I was definitely reading a lot of decolonized books, the Mexica movement, the American Indian movement, researching a lot of that information, and then going to ceremony really expanded my brain. And another one too is as Central Americans and Mexicans, we pray with a lot of different medicines, and my family, they're peyoteros. My extended family, my godfather, and praying with that peyote medicine. In Central America, we would do it in temples or huts, but up here we do it in teepees. And eating that medicinal plant really opened my mind and showed me how far my roots do really go. And so it was a combination of books, ceremony, and then these medicinal medicines we've been using for thousands of years. All of that just expanded my brain, and from that I was able to relearn my language, to speaking to teachers from Mexico or from Central America, and just really giving it a lot. So I grew up with it unknowingly, my indigeneity, and then 15 I could feel it more, and then my early 20s I was really aware of it. And earlier I said, I'm 24 years old, so it's been about 4 years where all three of those have came together and really been leading my life in a good way.
While as a child all I read was this blasphemy in history. Fuck Spain, fuck Europe. I know our pride is a ride or die. Brown power, growing up. Ninka Draka, Raka, ignorance is not bliss. It's killing without a conscience. My history does not exist, cause Aryans rape us!
So in terms of the repression of indigenous identity in Mexican and Central American communities, so not only in our own countries is there systematic racism and white supremacy in terms of everyone wants to be Spaniard. So you have people that are either full indigenous or half indigenous, that if you ask them where they come from, they'll say, oh, my grandparents are from Spain. And this is kind of the big flaw that the education system in Mexico and Central America has imposed on the children. If you read a 3rd grade elementary book, it'll say all the natives died and all the Spaniards are here and we're all Spaniards. But then in fact, when you do these DNA tests, or even when you look at the people, I mean, growing up, at least for me, the average Central American or Mexican was a short brown person with indigenous features, including my family. So this idea of that we all come from Spain, when not only is it visually like incorrect, but I went as far as to do DNA tests for my family, and we did come out indigenous.
We are all related, can't you see? Without her, we don't fucking breathe. We fight for Earth, for you and me. Protect the sacred. Protect and swerve. Protect the sacred. Protect and swerve. Protect the sacred. Protect and swerve. Protect the sacred. Protect and swerve.
My family was mixed, Spaniard with indigenous, but nonetheless, I always heard about that one great-great-great-grandpa from Spain, and then I never heard of all the grandmothers that came from different tribes in Nicaragua until I asked my grandma, and she opened up a little more. But still, it took a lot for my grandma to open up for me, as for most people. So on top of having that in our homelands, when you come to the US, we're labeled as Hispanic, Latino, all these European labels. Hispanic meaning coming from Spain. They say it's just because you speak Spanish. So would you call an African American English just because he speaks English? Of course not. That's fucking stupid. And when we get here as well, and even if we reclaim our indigenous identity, a lot of northern natives, our Native Americans in North America, don't consider us native. They say, oh, you're the descendants of Spaniards. And we have this whole issue because if you're born on this side of the border, you have rights. If you're born on the other side, you don't. So for example, the Yaqui tribe and a lot of other tribes that are on the borders, you have a tribe split in half. And again, literally where you're born determines whether you're gonna have access to college or not, or whether you can cross or not. So with a lot of our music, what we try to talk about is decolonizing that mentality of allowing these European borders on our continent to separate us. Again, like being of Nahuatl people of Nicaragua, there's Nahuatl people in Honduras, Salvador, and Mexico, and we all come from the same lineage, but yet these European imposed borders are going to tell us we're different. I was raised hearing racist things about Salvadoreños, about Mexicanos, and then there's Salvadoreños that are raised hearing racist shit about Nicaraguenses and Costa Ricans, even though we're coming from similar, if not the same nations, where Europeans and white supremacy has convinced us to go against each other and just be occupied with that shit. So the decolonization of our people is essential for the growth of our children and for the next generations to come in this crazy Western society.
Yeah, with the chrome. What you know about that? What you know about that? What you know about that? What you know about them straps and gas? What you know about them gas mask raps? Better know now or else get back. Yeah! Brown bandana on my hip, the 45 hammer. Put your phone down, they shoot at cameras. Mishwakan, the land of the cannon.
Tzacuilisli ipanin, todo eso. Ni quintras otra, no callo, no hueve cayome. Si tras otra, mo hueve cayome. Motatsin, monatsin, motlali. Nenewia. Sokamati ometeo, sokamati nao campa, witrampa, siwatlampa, ikrampa, ilwika, tlali, ipanemawani. Ometeo.